Oh hey, didn't see you there. Thanks for tuning in to Those Once Loyal. We're doing a battle report today of 2,000 points of Adeptus Custodes versus 2,000 points of Death Guard. So let's go to the armies. Alright guys, this is 2,000 points of Adeptus Custodes. This is Jim's army. This is his first time on the channel, so everyone leave a welcome, a hi emoji maybe in the comments section. So we're doing a battalion and a vanguard detachment. So let's start with the vanguard, Jim. This is your warlord?
Yes, it's the Terminator captain, shield captain. He has the Castellan axe. He has the superior creation, which gives him 5 up, feel no pain. He also has the, I forget the name of it. He also has a 3 up invul. Let's just put it that way.
Cool. And then first elite choice over here looks like a Contemptor.
Yeah, a Venerable Contemptor with the Combi Bolter and the Melta.
Cool, cool. And then over here to the left is
Vexillus Bearer bearing the Magnifica, which is like -1 to hit within 6 inches, and then a 3-man Terminator squad.
Cool. And then for the last elite choice right here,
just 3 Custodian Wardens, so they have the Castellan axes, compulsory Misericordia, and they also have a 6 up feel no pain.
Awesome, cool. And then so we're gonna go to the battalion over here. Looks like you got some captains on bikes.
I have the 2 captains. The guy with the black hood is carrying the relic. It's called like Auric Aquila. So basically, he has a 3 up invul and he can reroll charges.
Cool, cool.
And this is a regular shield bike.
Cool.
Shield captain on a bike, and this is Trajan. I have him modeled as the Lock Warden from the Shadow Keepers thing. It's like one of the weird sects of the Custodes.
Cool, cool. And then some troop choices over here.
Yeah, I have the 3 guys with sword and board, 2 squads of 3 with the spears, and then I have the Vexilla bearer with the shield on foot.
Awesome, cool. Well, this is, as you can see, guys, a very nicely painted army. I'm stoked to see what they can do against my arch rivals, the Death Guard over here. I'll be rooting for you, Jim. So let's see what Ryan's bringing. And there it is, 2,000 points of Death Guard. So we have a battalion, a Outrider, and an auxiliary detachment. So let's start with the battalion. And this is your warlord, correct, Ryan?
Yeah, right here is the DM Prince of Wings, sporting the Hellforged sword and a Plague Spewer.
Okay.
His psychic power will be Miasma Pestilence.
Mm-hmm.
The guy behind him is also DM Prince of Wings. He's going to have the Talons and the psychic power Curse of the Leper.
Mm-hmm.
Then over to the left there is Typhus. He's going to have Putrescent Vitality and Blades of Putrefaction.
Mm-hmm.
The troop choices for this battalion are going to be the Plague Marines with a Plague Champion with Plague Sword and Plasma Gun, 2 Blight Launchers, a Flail Corruption, a giant cleaver. I can't remember the exact name of it.
Probably has the word plague in the name.
Plague, something dead.
Plague Cleaver.
And then just 3 Plague Marines with just bolters and Plague Knives.
Okay, cool.
And then over here is 2 units of 15 Poxwalkers in each.
Cool. And you guys can notice the bases are different colors on the rim, so that's how we're going to distinguish them in this battle.
One unit brown, 1 unit green.
All right.
And the dedicated transport, and this is going to be this Chaos Rhino with Combi Bolter.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 elite choices are going to be the Foul Blight Spawn and the Biologist Putrefier.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe get off one of those grenade tricks, maybe nuke a bike with some nasty flamer goodness over here.
Looking good. And then
heavy support with the Plague Burst Crawler. It'll have the heavy slugger and the 2 Plague Spitters on the side.
Very cool. So that's the battalion there. And let's go to the Outrider.
Yeah, lead this off is going to be a Chaos Lord with Chain Axe and Bolt Pistol. Nothing too crazy. He's just kind of a reroll bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 Fetid Bloat Drones, exactly the same, double Plague Spitters on the sides.
It almost looks like the evolution of a painted bloat drone.
Yeah,
from primed
like the shadow
to base coat
just the front
to
one
finished.
maybe moving really fast or something.
All right, and then the auxiliary?
Yeah, this is just an Armiger with the 2 autocannons, and he doesn't have it on the top technically, but I put a Meltagun on him this time.
All right, and how many command points are we starting with for you?
Starting off with 9, paying an extra 1 to give him the separating plate, and he's going to have the helm that makes his aura 3 inches bigger.
All right. And Jim, how many command points did you have again?
I started off with 9, and I spent 1 pre-game to give the extra relic to the shield captain biker.
All right. There you have it, guys.
At 8.
So at 8 for the Custodies. All right. So this is the battlefield. We're going to do some deployment, get back to you guys with the mission, and yeah, see you in a sec. All right, guys, this is the map. We're going to be doing a Dawn of War deployment, and the mission is going to be Beachhead from Chapter Approved. So Ryan won the roll-off, and he elected to choose this side of the board for deployment. In response, Jim set up this phalanx of the Emperor's Finest over here, with the captains on the Dawn Eagle jet bikes kind of hiding behind this building. Ryan looks like has screened out his poxwalkers pretty much all across the table, protecting his really valuable units. So we're going to go over to the reserves real quick, and then we'll talk about the mission. So these Plague Marines are going to be riding in a Rhino along with the 2 elite characters, and then Typhus is going to be deep striking. And then this Terminator unit character is also going to be deep striking, and Jim has spent an extra command point before the game to deep strike this Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought. So Beachhead is 3 objectives, 1 in the center, which is worth 2 points if you control it, and then 1 in each of the player's deployment zones. Now the player that placed it, if they control it, takes 1 point. If the opposing player controls it, they take 2 points. 3 points. Sorry, 3 points. So because Jim is deployed first, he is going to be going first. Ryan, would you like to try to seize the initiative?
No, you go first.
No, all right. All right, guys, so we'll get back to you after Custodes turn 1. Movement for the Custodes turn 1 is complete. This squad has stayed here while the general mass of the army has moved up and advanced in order to try and possibly contest this center objective second turn. And these 2 captains on the Dawn Eagle jet bikes have both moved into cover back here, looking like they might try some sort of outflanking maneuver.
See you.
No psychic phase to speak of, so we'll come back to you after Custodes shooting. And a couple of bolter shots later, and the Custodes shooting is wrapped up. Pretty much everyone in this unit who could see just tried to thin out these poxwalkers over here, just to illustrate that some models had been killed. We just knocked them over since we do things phase by phase, and thought it might be easier for you guys to see. So 4 have been downed by this righteous bolter fire. So I'm assuming there's nothing really in charge range, so that's going to wrap up the Custodes' first turn. They will take a point for holding this objective over here.
Scoring didn't start until turn 2.
Ah, well, I've just been informed by the Rule Master Ryan that scoring does not start until turn 2! All right, Death Guard, turn 1. So movement and Psychic has wrapped up for the Death Guard for their first turn. Over here, the Arminger has moved up to get kind of a shot at these Custodes across the board. The Poxwalkers have kind of castled up to deny any possible deep striking in the Custodes' second turn. Over here in the middle, all of the bloat drones have moved and advanced. The Poxwalkers have advanced up in front of the Rhino. The Rhino has moved up and popped smoke. This Demon Prince over here has cast Smite onto this unit and taken a wound off of them. This Demon Prince has cast Miasma of Pestilence onto the bloat drone up in the front. And then Ryan has used the Cloud of Flies stratagem on these Poxwalkers, so they can now no longer be targeted unless they are the closest unit. So pretty fair. First turn for movement and Psychic. Looking like some defensive stratagems going on here. And we'll come back to you after Death Guard shooting. Alright, so the end of Death Guard turn 1 shooting. This fetid bloat drone in the center here opened up on this Custodies unit, killed 1 and took another down to 1 wound. And then this Arminger opened up and killed 1 as well. So there's 1 guy remaining. Nothing else, I think, was really in range to target it. I believe the Plague Burst Crawler just completely missed its shots. So that is battle round 1. No points for the objectives yet, and neither party has gotten first strike. So it's still any man's game. So we'll come back to you after the movement phase for the Custodes turn 2. As you can see here, the Warlord, the Aquila Bear, the Terminators, and a Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought have deep struck behind the enemy lines. Plenty of targets for them for the shooting phase. Over here, the captains on the Dong Eagle jet bikes have moved out from behind cover and are definitely in charge range of, well, at least this one is definitely in charge range of this Bloatrone or Demon Prince if he wanted. And the Warden and 2 units of Custodians have moved up to contest this objective and maybe get off some charges as well. So we'll come back to you guys after shooting for the Custodes turn 2. The Emperor has had his vengeance on the treacherous sons of Mortarion. So Custodes turn 2 shooting. Custodes, sorry. These Terminators, Captain Aquila Banner, and Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought have blown up the Rhino that is no longer here, and everybody around it took a mortal wound. The Demon Prince, both of the Bloatrones, and then the Poxwalkers. 2 of the Plague Marines also died in the explosion, but the characters were fine. Over here, the captains on the Dawn Eagle jet bikes popped a wound off of this Bloatrone, and then some combined Guardian Spear shooting took a couple of wounds off this Bloatrone in the front. So, pretty good turn. I'm sure there's going to be some charges coming up in just a second, so we'll come back to you guys in a bit. All right, everybody, the Custodes turn 2 phase is complete, and there's some pretty epic things going on over here. So in order, this completely golden captain on the Dawn Eagle jet bike charged into this fetid Bloatrone and was heroically intervened into by this Demon Prince. And then the second captain with the one with the black hood to the bike holding the relic that lets him reroll charges then charged into the Bloatrone as well. And over here, this Contemptor charged into the Plague Marines, at which point Ryan popped a stratagem, Blight Bombardment, to allow them to throw some D6 Blight Grenades into Overwatch. Unfortunately, it didn't really do anything to the Contemptor, and then he was heroically intervened into by this Demon Prince. The Terminators have moved a charge into the Plague Marines. And then over here, this lone Custodian has charged into the Poxwalkers with the intent of then piling into the Bloatrone and maybe throwing some attacks on him. So, we're looking at a pretty cool second turn. We're going to roll some dice. If anything noteworthy comes up, we'll kind of go out of phase and show you guys what's going on. But and I hope we get to, because it looks like a lot of things are going to die. So, we'll see you guys in a second.
So the Custodes attack phase so far has only shaved off 3 wounds of this fetid Bloatrone with some really good saves, and this lone Guardian here has managed to only kill a single Poxwalker, but I spent 2 command points to have my Demon Prince over here interrupt. He's going to get 4 attacks with his sword, and then 1 with a Malefic Talon, and 6s make extra attacks, so let's see what happens. So, these are the sword, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, all hit. And then wounding you on 4s, because you're toughness 7. Oh, that is 4 4s, actually. That's going to be AP minus 3.
Alright, so going to be using my 5-up invul then.
5-up invul.
So you said 4?
Oh, did not save 2 of them. So it's 3 damage apiece.
Flat 3 damage apiece, so I have a 6-up filament pain.
6-up filament pain.
Dread, so
nice.
Looking for 6s.
There we go. That's an awesome fucking roll. So he only takes 3 damage out of all that. One more attack with the Malefic Talon now. Hitting on 2s. Hits. And wounding you on 4s. Oh, does not wound. So that's all I could manage to get off of him in this interrupt. So he's down to 7 wounds. So before the Custodes have finished their attack here, my heroically intervening Demon Prince over here came in and swung on the shield captain and totally obliterated him. But he has spent 2 command points to attack in death. So this is going to be his attacks onto the Demon Prince. This is the Demon Prince with the separating plate, and now it's not going to matter for that 4-up dealing mortal wounds back. So, Jim?
Here we go. It's 5 attacks, hitting on 2s.
You're rolling 1s, right?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
All right, so they all hit, and since it's still part of the same phase, I'm also going to be re-rolling wounds still.
Yep. Wounding on 4s. So wounding on 4s is your strength 6 versus toughness 6.
Yeah, wounding on 4s and re-rolling failed wounds.
Love it. Roll 2 fails. Oh, all but that one. So
4 went through.
That many wounds. I'll just roll these. AP -3, so 5-up invulnerable save. Don't make a single one of them. D3 damage, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at that.
4,
So
5, 6.
Come back to you with that. Discuss some resilient saves. So I ignore 2 of them, so I take 4.
And that's a wrap for Custodes turn 2. So as you guys just saw, this captain on the Dawn Eagle jet bike heroically sacrificed himself and lanced this Demon Prince for 4 wounds. Over here, the lone custodian took out a Poxwalker or 2, I believe, but was killed in retaliation by the blow drone, and both these units just consolidated up to contest this objective. And over here, the Terminators wiped out the Plague Marines, and the Demon Prince, as I believe was already filmed by Ryan, heroically intervened into the Contemptor, took a couple wounds off, and suffered a couple wounds in return. So that's going to wrap up this turn. Jim's going to take 1 point for holding this objective in his deployment zone, and here comes the retaliatory strike. That's not a word. The return strike by the Death Guard. Turn 2. See you in a minute. According to Google, retaliatory is actually a word. So there you go. Turn 2, movement and psychic for the Death Guard has just been completed. And the 2 elite choices, the Biologus Putrefier and the Foul Blightspawn, have moved out of combat with the Terminators. The Demon Prince with wings, who I believe this is your Warlord, right, Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah, has also fallen back out of combat with the Contemptor Dreadnought. The Bloat Drone and the Demon Prince over here have fallen back. Well, the Bloat Drone fell back, but the Demon Prince wasn't actually in combat with this model.
Yeah, just moved.
This Bloat Drone has moved up a little bit. This Bloat Drone over here has moved up to get in range of these Custodies models, and Typhus has come down in Deep Struck. So that's the movement. Oh, and the Armiger over here has scooted up, eager to join the fray. And so over here, this Demon Prince tried to manifest Curse of the Leper. It did not go off. Over here, this Demon Prince tried to manifest Miasma of Pestilence, but Jim popped the strat where one of his characters could deny a psychic power and denied it. And then over here, Typhus got Blades of Putrefaction, whatever, off onto himself, and then smote this unit for 4 mortal wounds on a Super Smite, and then Jim denied 2 of them with his 6-up Feel No Pains. So, pretty interesting way the game's going so far. Very excited to see what's going to happen in the Death Guard shooting phase, because these flamers are no joke. So we'll be back to you guys in a second. The Death Guard now on the offensive for their second turn of shooting. In lieu of going down here unit by unit as far as what fired, since pretty much there's multiple units with multiple flamers and multi-hit weapons that did attack this turn, this unit of Wardens has been brought down to 1 model. It started with 3. This unit of Custodians is brought down to 1 model with 1 wound left, and this unit in the back holding the objective is down to 2 models, 1 with 2 wounds remaining. So yeah, a lot of shooting this turn. Still didn't manage to accomplish much because these models are so expensive and hard to kill. Pretty much everything either has a 2-up, 4-up, or a 2-up, 3-up, and multiple units have Feel No Pains. So we're going to see what the Death Guard can do as far as assault in their upcoming turn. Right now that Jim's not here, what you thinking, Ryan? What do you think about doing?
I don't know. Typhus is definitely going in for the kill.
I think that's a good move because you need those 3 victory points.
Yeah, and this guy just moved, so he's definitely going to try to tie something up and not get shot.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, the Demon Prince fell back. The Poxwalkers are open though, so I could charge over here into one of these guys.
Get back in, yeah, because I mean they are getting kind of close to your objective, and that's a lot of Poxwalkers. But
I do want them to charge this guy at least once. I just want them to get the full fury of this guy. But historically, it's a 50-50 shot. He either nukes something or gets nuked. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it straight from the leader of the channel's mouth. There he is in all his glory.
All hail him.
All right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go to Death Guard turn 2 charge phase and be back to you eventually. Death Guard turn 2 charging and assaulting has ended. So over here, this Demon Prince charged into the captain on the Dawn Eagle jet bike. He took 2 wounds off of him and suffered a wound in return, so he's down to 2 wounds. This bloat drone charged into a Custodian that is now no longer here because he has been squished and got heroically intervened into by this model, who I believe is a named character. Jim is actually outside smoking, so I can't get any confirmation on that, but we're gonna go with that. And he took a few wounds, I believe 2 wounds off of the bloat drone. Over here, Typhus failed his charge, much to Jim's chagrin. And then across the battle, over here, these Poxwalkers charged in with a very impressive 11 inches and were able to string out to tie up the Contemptor and also hold the objective, but the Contemptor swung back and demolished 2 of them. So he is now no longer in combat. So in summation, Ryan has 1 point for this objective in his deployment zone and an additional 2 for controlling the center. So that will bring Ryan to 3 and Jim to 1. So now we're going to go into Custodies turn 4, I believe? Turn 3. All right, so let's see what the Emperor's Finest can do to bring this back and put the hurt on these stinky boys. Thus, the defenders of the Golden Throne have completed their turn 3 movement. Let us begin to dissect what Jim has done. So over here, these Custodies models have abandoned this objective in order to get closer to the middle one and maybe turn the tide. Typhus over here could potentially reach it to contest it, but he would need to advance with a 4 or more in order to get in range. This bloat drone could as well, but being on 7 wounds left, it is likely he might not see the sun go down on this battle. Over here, Jim has elected to stay in combat with this bloat drone, as well as stay in combat with this Demon Prince. And on this side, the key Contemptor, Terminator's character, and Aquila Bear have decided to move up. I believe this unit has moved up as well, correct?
Yes.
Yep, to get closer to this center objective. So it's still really anybody's game. Let's see what the Custodes can do in their shooting phase, turn 3. And Custodes' turn 3 shooting has wrapped up. The Contemptor has taken out the Foul Blight spawn in the middle here. And the Terminators here have taken a wound off of the Biologus Putrefier. Yeah, whatever he's called. And then turned their bolter shots into the Poxwalkers here in an attempt to deny them claiming this objective. And taken 3 out of a unit of 5. Over here, I don't believe anything has happened of significance with the Custodies targeting the bloat drone. And everything over here is locked in combat on the Imperium side. So we're going to come back to you after the charge and assault phase from the Custodes. It seems like the pendulum is swinging possibly in the favor here, because if these guys can make the charge into these 2 Poxwalkers, they are surely doomed, and Jim will pick up 2 points for holding the center objective, as well as possibly killing the Demon Prince with the Contemptor. So we'll see.
You might
dare him to do it.
You might want to phone this. I'm about to do some shit.
All right, well, let's see some shit then. All right, boys.
All right.
What's going on?
Go ahead and spend my last 2 CP to unleash the lions and make each of these Terminators a separate unit.
Oh.
I'm also going to go ahead and activate Moment Shackles from the Captain General and try to get 2 of those back. So here we go.
Ooh.
I got both of them back, so I still
Love
got
it.
2 CP.
All right,
They're
so
all separate units now.
So now we have 3 charge rolls to make, and Jim has not lost any command points. What a turn! Can you believe this, internet? In typical Those Once Loyal fashion, we have not disappointed.
Actually, make sure I can do that real quick.
Well, we're going to come back to you after consulting the rule book. But either way, this is what you tune in for. This is what it is. It is a Friday night. Judas Priest is still on. We will be back to you in a moment. After consulting the Custodies rule book, we are finding the error of our ways. The stratagem has to be declared at the start of the movement turn. However righteous it may have been, that is not actually going to happen. Jim retains his 2 CPs, and here's the charge phase for the Custodies. And there we have it, folks. The Custodies turn 3 fight phase has been resolved. So over here, the Terminators have charged into the Biologus Putrefier and putrefied him. And the Demon Prince well, I should start with the Warden here. He charged into the Poxwalkers over here and completely demolished them, and now claims this objective. The Demon Prince is just out of contesting it. He tried in vain to kill the Warden to deny Jim the points for contesting that objective, and because I said in vain, you can probably surmise that he did not do it. And but he did manage to take 6 wounds off the Contemptor, so the Contemptor now is left with 1 wound. Over here, Jim, what is this guy's name?
Captain General Trajan Polaris.
Yeah, the very important dude who is on the High Council of Terra has brought this bloat drone down to 1 wound, suffering nothing in return. The jet bike captain over here has killed the Demon Prince, although he took 2 wounds to do it. And then, as I shuffle over to this side of the board, the 2 Custodes over here has taken the bloat drone down to 2 wounds, though they have not suffered anything in retaliation. So, to summarize, let's get this thing back into focus. Jim is now up to 3 points to Ryan's 3. So now it is a tie, and we're going into Death Guard turn 3. And let's see what Ryan can do to take home the big W. We'll be back to you in just a moment.
Movement and Psychic Phase, turn 3 for the Death Guard is complete. I just kind of scooted this guy over here a little closer to this objective. The Demon Prince kind of just fell back out of that combat over here. And everything kind of just started kind of piling in over towards this objective over near this little rock formation this way. The Armiger moved up 14 this way. All of these Poxwalkers just kind of fanned out a little bit with their regular 4-inch movement. These guys stood still. And I think that's about it. For the Psychic Phase, the Demon Prince tried to smite this guy and got 1 mortal wound off of him. And Typhus attempted to smite this unit, and it got denied for a command point denial, and then got Blades of Putrefaction onto himself. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase for the Death Guard.
And Death Guard turn 3 shooting has wrapped up. Pretty much just to do a quick summary, Ryan's entire army has shot and only managed to kill the Warden contesting the center objective, which is a big deal because that is worth 2 points, and taking a wound off of one of the Custodes over here. So not super fruitful. And I'm sure we'll see some charges in the Death Guard turn 3 assault phase, but it just goes to show how durable these Custodies models are at toughness 5, 2 up, 3 up, or 4 up. So let's see what the Death Guard can do to maybe kill some characters over here, take out this last remaining squad. We'll see you guys in a second.
All right, and the charge phase and fighting phase for the Death Guard on turn 3 is complete. So starting off over here, the bloat drone charged into the Contemptor, and all of these Terminators heroically intervened into him, but the bloat drone failed to do anything, and the Contemptor actually slapped the bloat drone in the face and managed to destroy it. So these guys just kind of ended up just consolidating a little closer, towards that objective, but not really doing much, even though they're all actually independently characters at this point. Over here, Typhus charged in, and even with Blades of Putrefaction, could not kill this guy with a Storm Shield, which is highly unlikely, but that's kind of just the way it goes. Over on this end, the Poxwalkers charged in. There's more than 10 of them, so they're hitting on 4s. I used Veterans of the Long War and shaved 3 wounds off that guy. So pretty much at this point, Jim has decided to concede the battle because within the charge phase, he forgot to heroically intervene into the Demon Prince. I've got this objective, the one over here, and my deployment zone, and the center. So that nets me 6 points in just this turn. So I've got a pretty big lead at 9 victory points to Jim's 3, and it's getting really late, and he doesn't really think that he can really pull it back at this point. So we're going to call it there. So thanks so much for watching. We're going to have Jim on a lot more now that he's got his Custodes all finished and painted, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.
No one ever talks about rock and roll.